What's going on, internet? So, just kind of want to go over some things on this 2026 LowriderST that I've picked up. Some things I like, some things I don't like, what I would like to change, things like that. Right now, the bike's got 2,300 miles on it, so still, I guess you could say fairly new, but I've gotten my fair share of time in on it. Kind of start off the bat, I'm a big twin cam guy. Really like the twin cams. I've always rode the twin cams, but Dynas and mainly Super Glides is really where I found my love for the Harley, but always wanted to try the new platform, so the LowriderST was what it was. Picked up this 26, it's got the Gen 2 Milwaukee, the 117 HO, and right off the rip, I loved it. But it took a lot of getting used to because I didn't know how these new Harleys are supposed to feel. It was smoother, the shifting was better, way less vibrations, the power was just better through the whole band. Just a totally different experience for me. And then I rode it about 500 miles. And this is the first new anything that I've bought before, so the first 500 miles, it's very windy here, so bear with me here. The first 500 miles, it seemed to go great. Right about the 450 mark, though, the bar started to rock back and forth really bad. So I tightened down the lower nuts on the bar bushings, and it didn't change a single thing. And the bar bushings were absolutely trashed. It actually got to the point where it was kind of sketchy to ride. It put me in some bad predicaments. Ended up going with a solid bushing instead of just the factory rubber mounts, and then rode the bike about 4 hours on a road trip and learned that probably should have went with polys, a little bit more vibration. The stock seat is pretty good. Stock bar location, everybody wants to do bars and risers, and I'm for that. It needs to be like 4 inches taller. But the other big thing on this bike that got me was I put a Sawicki 2-into-1 pipe on it, and I love the way it sounds, and it rode and ran great. Maybe just a little lean. In order to keep my warranty, I did the Pro Street tuner from Harley, and that has made me not like the bike at all, actually. I'll make a whole nother video on how that whole ordeal went, but that made me just absolutely not like the bike at all, not one bit. So that's a whole different story. We'll go over that in another video next week. So overall, it's been pretty good. It's a little quirky. The rear brake kind of sucks. It was really, the rear brake worked excellent for about 3 days. And I've been riding since I was 6 years old. I'm not just an idiot, you know what I mean? You just have to mash on it for it to even remotely try and stop. What I ended up doing was I took this rear brake pedal lever and took this rod in here, and I turned this in, and it raised my pedal up probably at least about an inch, and that made the biggest amount. Went blank. That made the, I don't know, whatever. Rear brake feels 10 times better. So the vibrations in the foot pegs is very different. The cruise control is a nice thing. There's a couple things when you do set the cruise, when I'll go to, say I'm running 80, and I'll go up to 80 and I'll click the set button, it'll run up to 83 and then just stay there. Little annoying, you know, it's just dumb little things like that. But other than that, it's really smooth. It's fast. It's fast as shit for a bone stock bike. It's a totally different world than the twin cam stuff that I'm used to. I do love the bike. Like I said, everybody wants to do some changes, and I want to do some changes. But overall, it's been good. Would I go back and buy another one new? No, absolutely not. Especially after seeing the prices of like what a guy can get like a 24 model for, or a 25 model for with like 5,000 miles on it. For the price difference, nah, I would just go get a used one. But you know, kind of wanted to spoil myself, get something new, nice, with a warranty, whatever. So overall, it's great, but I like it. I don't love it. The only thing that I love about it is the absolute color. I don't know, I just think for the money, there's some little quirks that this thing has. The bags are a little janky. I've already noticed just in the little bit of riding that I have, this bag rattles, and this one does not, and that's super annoying. Other than that, putting shit inside the bag, the fitment's awful. If you have a backpack and you go to fit something inside of it, you got to damn near roll the backpack in half, face it a specific way. And I'm only packing like a weekend's worth of clothes and an extra pair of shoes and a sweater. And I use the shoes and sweater in a separate bag so I know that they'll fit. So if you're trying to pack snacks and everything else, you're going to be cramming it in there. I did a trip to Kansas when I first got it, and I had put everything in the left bag, just my actual backpack itself. And it was a couple shirts, a pair of jeans, and it's just a nice little OGO backpack, nothing massive. The damn bag's warped. Like where the lid goes and lines up right there and it latches in, the front of it is lightly warped. And every time I wash the bike, the inside of the bag's wet. Kind of, I don't know. Maybe that's user error. Maybe I just don't know how to pack, but I thought personally that was a little shitty. So the no rear pegs, the no rear seat, that was very different, having to go buy all that separate. Key fob thing is great, except every now and again I'll go to hit the start switch with the key fob on and nothing happens, and I gotta hit the switch like 3 or 4 times, and then all of a sudden it'll come back on. I don't know. The dealer that is close to me is kind of a shithole, so I don't trust them to really do anything. And the next closest place would be Lubbock, which is a little bit of a jaunt for me, but it is what it is. So I'll get some riding videos and stuff soon. Maybe get a little bit more update. I'll make that second video on that tuner and let you know just how much of a piece of shit that thing is. So thanks for listening to me ramble, and I'll get some videos ripping this thing.